If you could just kind of talk a bit about the state of things in the impacted regions of northern Michigan, kind of what's been going on these last few days, just from your point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. We got hit with some really wild weather over the last few days, and obviously with the ice storm in the northern lower peninsula and the upper peninsula has created so many people without power, real strain on fuel, on food, even on oxygen. So we've been working very closely with first responders on the ground. I want to thank all the emergency crews that are working long, hard days on Saturday. We monitored the storms. On Sunday, I opened up this here. This is the State Emergency Operations Center. On Monday, I declared the state of emergency for 10 counties. Tuesday, we expanded the state of emergency to include 2 additional counties, deployed the National Guard, and lifted commercial trucking weight and hour restrictions. We're working really hard to get the fuel, which is a primary concern for so many communities, as well as making sure that on the roads can be used for trucking oxygen, for instance, to living assisted living facilities, and there's a lot of work that is being done. Our power restoration remains our top priority. I just heard that the city of Petoskey now has power, which is good. We were about 200,000 people without power yesterday. We're down to about 129,000. It's still a lot of people without power for a long period of time, and obviously we're bracing for another weather event today, unsure how that's going to complicate all of these efforts. And so we're just going to continue to monitor and stay close to first responders on the ground.
Yeah, and thank you for that. Also wondering if you have been in contact with any federal agencies or the president's administration, anything like that, over these last few days.
Yeah, so I've been talking pretty regularly with Congressman Bergman and Senator DeMoose. I know that the resources that we've deployed, we're going to have to find the money for that. I can't wait to do that in an emergency. We got to take action, and that's what we're doing. But ultimately, whether it is through FEMA or state government, we're going to have to figure out how to pay the bill. And so I want to make sure people know what we're doing, why we're doing it as we navigate this crisis, but be prepared to make sure that we're supporting the communities in the recovery. I am planning to have a call today, I believe, with President Trump, and we will talk. I will share with him what we're seeing, what we're bracing for, and lay the groundwork for the potential of a request from the federal government as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And thank you for that as well. Also, was hoping, I know you talked a bit about it already, but obviously the Emergency Operations Center and the state of emergency that you had declared. Just kind of wondering if you could talk, I guess, a bit about, excuse me, a bit more about that and kind of, what resources are freed up, kind of what, state operations are going into this, things like that.
Yeah, well, we know that one of the, first it's about restoration of power, but it's also about making sure that we can get out and do welfare checks, make sure that we can deliver oxygen tanks, making sure that the roads are cleared. And we know that that is a huge problem, which is why we're deploying the National Guard. They will help with a lot of that. I can tell you that it's kind of an all hands on deck moment from the locals to the state, with MDOT and DNR working to clear roads as well. So we're marshaling all the manpower and resources that we have, and also being mindful we don't want everyone out there consuming fuel, which is so precious and hard to get at the moment as well. So as people hunker down for the next 24 to 36 hours with this projected storm, we will continue to do this work as safely as possible and clear those roads so that the trucks can get where they need to get.
Kind of my last main question here, I think. One, just that you had originally planned to give a speech this week in DC, but saw that you had postponed that trip yesterday. I guess just kind of wondering, what went into that decision for you and kind of why you feel that it's important that, you be in the state right now, kind of assisting with some of these operations.
Well, I want to be on hand. It is, I wouldn't feel comfortable not being in Michigan as we continue to see another weather event coming through today. So I thought it was important to be here. I'll also share, that today is a day where all these tariffs are going to go into effect, and I've got a lot of concerns about the Michigan economy. There's just no shortage of things that I'm following and trying to do my best to protect the people of Michigan. But our health and safety in the middle of a crisis is, I think, it is important that I'm here as I talked to so many leaders, the common refrain that I heard was, I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen anything like this. It's a unique challenge in an increasingly difficult climate. And so, as this second weather event comes through, I thought it was important to stay here and be on the ground.
Yeah, of course. And I forgot about the tariffs on my end personally.
I
So
know
yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, that was the last main question. Just unless there was anything else that you wanted to kind of say to, people in the conditions or anything else you wanted to get in.
I think I'll just conclude with, just encouraging people to stay safe, watch the weather. Please don't be out and about and consume fuel unless it's absolutely necessary, because we want to make sure that we're able to help people heat their homes as well as help our first responders do what they need to do to keep communications going and to do welfare checks, et cetera. So if you can hunker down and you're in a safe place and you've got the important things that you need, please do so at least through this next weather event.